Today we're going to be looking at adding and subtracting polynomials. So to add polynomials, you are going to drop the parentheses and then combine your like terms. So let's look at this first example. 8y plus 2 plus 5 minus 4y. Drop the parentheses. So we have 8y plus 2 plus 5 minus 4y. Now we need to combine our like terms. So 8y we can combine with minus 4y. So 8 minus 4 gives us 4, keep the y, so 4y. Now we can combine 2 plus 5 and we get plus 7. Let's look at the next one. 3x squared minus 9x plus negative 6x squared minus 1. Drop your parentheses. And then just rewrite each term. Here we have plus a negative, so we're just going to do minus 6x squared minus 1. Combine your like terms. We have 3x squared minus 6x squared. 3 minus 6 is a negative 3. Keep your x squared. And then we have negative 9x. There's no other x's, so we just rewrite minus 9x. There's no other constant, so minus 1. Let's look at the next one. We have 2y squared minus 3y to the fourth plus 4y to the fourth minus 5y. Drop your parentheses. And just rewrite all terms as is. Now combine your like terms. Y squared, there's no other y squareds, but we have a y to the fourth and another y to the fourth. So rewrite it. Negative 3 plus 4 gives us a 1, so we can just write y to the fourth. And then we have our y squared and our y. And now when we write these, we want to make sure they are in standard form. So the largest exponent going down. The next one I want you to try yourself. Pause the video, then come back to check your work. Okay, let's check it. So when we add these two trinomials, we're just going to drop the parentheses and rewrite each one as is. And then we are going to combine our like terms. So we have y squared. We have a 6y squared and a 2y squared. 6 plus 2 is 8y squared. And then we have 8y to the fourth and 9y to the fourth. 8 plus 9 gives us 17y to the fourth. I'm going to put it up in front to make sure it is in standard form. And then lastly, we have minus 5y minus 7y. So negative 5 minus 7 gives us a negative 12y. Now let's look at a couple application problems here. So for these, we need to find the perimeter. And perimeter is adding all sides together. So we have a side length here for a square of 4x minus 2. That means it's the same thing all the way around. So we have 4x minus 2, and we're adding 4x minus 2. So that's two sides. Now we're adding 4x minus 2 for the third side, and 4x minus 2 for the fourth side. So we are going to combine our like terms here. So we have 4x plus 4x plus 4x plus 4x. So when we add 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, we get 8x. Now we can simplify our constants. So we have negative 2 minus 2 minus 2 minus 2. So we get negative 8 or minus 8. So the perimeter is 8x minus 8 units. The next one here is we have a rectangle. And the rectangle across from each are the same. So we have one side that's 3x squared plus 2y. It's going to be the same as the other side. So for this one, I'm just going to line up our like terms. So we have 3x squared plus 2y. And we have it again, 3x squared plus 2y. And then we have 5x squared minus 4y plus 3 twice. So we're going to line up our x squareds, line up our y's, and then just put our constant off to the side and rewrite it. This is just to help organize it and save some space, because these problems, if you just add it straight across, it'd be very long. It's not going to be short and sweet like these problems are. So it's just a nice way to organize. And then we're just going to add straight down. So 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 5. That gives us 16. And then keep your x squared. And then we have 2 plus 2, which is 4, minus 4, which is 0, minus 4. So negative 4y. And 3 plus 3 is 6. So the perimeter is going to be 16x squared minus 4y plus 6 units. And then the last one here is we have a triangle, and it gives us each side length. So we're just going to add them together. Let's start with 3y squared plus 10x. And then we're going to do our 6y squared plus 12x. And then 4y squared plus 8x. Just add them. We're going to add all of our y squareds. So 3 plus 6 plus 4 gives us 13y squared. 10 plus 12 plus 8 is 30x. So the perimeter of this triangle is 13y squared plus 30x units. So that was adding polynomials. Now we're going to look at subtracting polynomials. To subtract them, we are going to drop the first parentheses and change all the signs in the second set of parentheses, and then combine like terms. So let's look at this first example. We have 8y plus 2 minus 5 minus 4y. Rewrite the first parentheses with no parentheses, so you're dropping it. Now, 5 is positive, so we're going to do minus 5. So changing the sign. Then we have a negative 4y. We're going to change it to a positive 4y. And now do it just like you're doing with adding polynomials and combining our like terms. So let's combine our y's. So we have 8y plus 4y. That gives us 12y. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Let's go on and highlight those because they're like terms. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Drop your first parentheses and rewrite it. So 3x squared minus 9x. We're subtracting, so we're going to change the signs of each term in the second parentheses. So we have a negative 6, it's going to become a positive 6x squared. We have a negative 1, it's going to become a positive 1. Let's combine your like terms. 3x squared, and 6x squared. 3 plus 6 gives us 9x squared. There's no other x's, so just bring down our minus 9x, and no other constant, so plus 1. Let's continue on. We have 2y squared minus 3y to the fourth. We're subtracting, so we're going to drop those parentheses and rewrite the terms. Since we are subtracting, we are going to change the signs of our second parentheses. So it becomes a minus 4y to the fourth plus 5y. Combine your like terms. Let's start with the highest exponent, so negative 3y to the fourth minus 4y to the fourth. Negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7y to the fourth. Then there's no other y squared, so rewrite it, and no other y's. This last one here, I want you to pause the video and try it. Then come back and check your work afterwards. So drop your first parenthesis. And change the signs on your second. So minus 9y to the fourth plus 7y minus 2y squared. Combine your like terms. So we have an 8y to the fourth and a minus 9y to the fourth. 8 minus 9 is negative 1y to the fourth, or negative y to the fourth. Then we have y squared. 6y squared minus 2y squared. 6 minus 2 is 4y squared. And then we have some y. So we have negative 5y plus 7y. Negative 5 plus 7 is a positive 2y. Okay. Let's look at these two application problems. So we need to find the missing side length here. We have our original, or our perimeter here. So we are going to start off with our perimeter and then subtract our two sides. So our perimeter, we have 15 minus 2, or 15y squared plus 30x. And we're going to subtract our first side length, so 4y squared plus 8x, and then subtract our second side length, 3y squared plus 10x. So when we subtract, we drop the first parenthesis, which I didn't put a parenthesis around it, but you can. Let's go on and put it. So we drop it and then change the signs. So we have 15y squared plus 30x. Then it comes a minus 4y squared, a minus 8x. We're going to do the same thing, change the signs. Minus 3y squared, minus 10x. Now combine your like terms. Let's start off with our y squared. So we have 15y squared minus 4y squared minus 3y squared. So 15 minus 4 minus 3 is 8y squared. Now we have our x's. So we have 30x minus 8x minus 10. So 30 minus 10 minus 8 gives us a positive 12x. So 8x squared plus 12x units is our missing side length. So here we need to find our missing side length right here. So this 5a squared plus 7b It's the same length over here. So let's go on and add the same thing together to find the total length there. So we get 10a squared plus 14b. That takes care of these two lengths. Now these two lengths are 9b minus 3. Now if we add these together, we get 18b minus 6. So we have our full perimeter and we need to subtract out these two lengths. So we have 17a squared plus 18b plus 8. We are going to subtract out 10a squared plus 14b and subtract out 18b minus 6. So we're going to rewrite it, 17a squared plus 18b plus 8. Change the sign, so it becomes a minus 10a squared minus 14b. Change the sign, so minus 18b plus 6. Make sure you change the sign. Now let's combine our like terms. We have 17a squared minus 10a squared. So 17 minus 10 is 7a squared. We have 18b minus 14b minus 18b. 18 minus 18 is 0 minus 14. So we get negative 14b. And lastly, we have 8 plus 6, and that gives us 14. So our missing side length is 7a squared minus 14b plus 14 units long. So that is your lesson on adding and subtracting polynomials. Please reach out if you have any questions.